So this might seem like a random pig from Angry Birds, but you'd be wrong. It's actually Ross, who may not seem like much at first, but this character has a lot of lore and story behind it, and history. So yeah, more than you'd actually think. So let's get into the history of Ross from Angry Birds. Actually, I guess from Bad Piggies, same difference, I don't know. Let's just get into it.
Wake up in the morning, conversation boring. See that you're across from me, you wanna hear my story, yeah.
This character, Ross, is most known for his role in the game Bad Piggies, which is the first game he appeared in. He's the main playable character in that game. He's also pretty important to the game as the vehicles cannot start without him to progress through a level. While the vehicle can finish the line, in order to complete a level, he's the one that's needed. So yeah, overall, I'm just trying to say that he's pretty important to this game. He's the main character and the vehicles can't pass a level without him. Now his appearance in Bad Piggies can also be counted in for all the other Bad Piggies games, such as BP Classic, BP HD, and BP Free, and BP HD Free, which yeah, they're all versions of the game, but they're basically all essentially the same. But yeah, from the start, he was already a pretty major character for Bad Piggies, which is technically connected to the Angry Birds. So yeah, he was already made as a main character from the start. However, after this, he wouldn't really be seen as a big character for a while. He made a few cameos in the OG Angry Birds game, and that's really it. He also appears in Angry Birds Epic as his alter ego known as Prince Porky. Now this version of Ross actually has a sort of big role in that game, to be honest. He's one of the more harder bosses to beat and requires a good amount of thinking and skill to defeat him. During the second wave of the Whiz-Pig Castle fight, he will actually join your team. So that's interesting, I guess. While not Ross himself, technically, it's still a version of him, so I'm counting it. Well, aside from that, he doesn't really have much other cameos, but he has one in Angry Birds too. He also appears in AB Dice, but let's be honest, most people forgot about that game. But yeah, apart from all of these that I mentioned, he doesn't really have a main character role apart from Bad Piggies, which I guess does make sense. His character was built for Bad Piggies and the story of the game. He was made to be another average minion pig that just so happened to know how to make vehicles, thus causing him to be the main character of that game. But outside of that game, there's nothing really special about him that would make him, stand out. But outside of that game, there's nothing really special about him that would make him need to be a playable character in any non-Bad Piggies game. He's just another minion pig that stands out only because of his freckles. And I think Rovio knows this, which is why he's been thrown away aside for only cameos. And any games that have playable pig characters just have a normal minion pig and don't specify Ross. However, with all of this said, he is making a sort of comeback. If you know, and if you don't know, then you should probably go watch my vids about it because I made like 2, like right now. Bad Piggies 2 is a thing that's coming out this year. Now the game is currently in development and we don't know what art style they're going to use. I personally hope it's the Toons one, but from some of the promotional art for the game that we've seen, we do see a pig with freckles, which does mean that it's Ross, basically. This will be his first new role as a main character in... how many years did the original Bad Piggies come out? Well, that long. But yeah, that's really it for his character. He went from being the main character in Bad Piggies to being useless in basically every other Rovio game that wasn't Bad Piggies related. But now, since BP2 is coming, he's gonna have a pretty big comeback. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Ross is a character that could be way more interesting in both the Bad Piggies and Angry Birds franchise if used right, and he has had a good history, but overall he's just kinda been thrown aside for understandable reasons, such as the fact that he doesn't really do much apart from his main game Bad Piggies. But yeah, we just have to wait and see what the future holds, and see how he's gonna be presented in Bad Piggies 2. But let me know if you're hyped for Bad Piggies 2, and let me know if you're excited for that game to come out. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. And also speaking about Bad Piggies 2, God, I hope they don't use that ugly movie design. Like, that's actually really ugly.